The Circle, episode 3.1. Do you like that? How I sing that? That's good. I can put that in a message for you if you want.
No.
No? Okay. Well, let's bust it out. Episode 3. A lot going on. There's a lot going on this weekend.
There was a lot going on this
Whole lot going on. Trust me, I know. I had to sit in the car for 2 hours with you. Trust me, I know. Let's start. Whitehall shines at home in their tournament. Westerville North absolutely wrecks shop at the Kilted Classic. Northmore catches fire at the tournament at Big Walnut. Olib competes well at their tournament. And I don't even think we've hit all the dual meets.
No.
But Shawn, first let's talk a little bit about shirts. This bad boy we've been trying to bust out for 2 weeks, but you got me wearing a Marysville shirt, wearing a Rutgers shirt. You people keep giving us shirts. I never get to bust out the shirt I wanted to wear.
Where do you get these shirts at? Every time I
go in my closet.
Every time I come in and check my mailbox, I have the same shirt on, and you have all these shirts. Hey, there's 2 of us on the show, people. Start sending 2.
Oh, 2 larges, if you would. And I could have brought. I've got a whole pile of them just waiting. We mentioned the Westerville North, or I'm sorry, the Worthington Kilbourne last year. We got the Whitehall Rams. I got a Cleveland State waiting to be worn.
Let's just go. I'm sick of it.
All right, deal.
I don't hear about all the shirts you got when I'm sporting the same one. I don't hear it no more. Let's go.
Open mouth, insert foot. What do you want me to say? All right, let's talk about this week, Shawn. You've got the results. You've laid them out in front of you, and you're looking at them. What did you take away from week 2?
You know, week 2 kind of reminded me a little bit of week 1. The first week we had football and alpha problems that left half the squads or half the teams in the locker room. Week 2 we run into ACTs across the state. So as though we got a little bit better picture, we didn't get a big enough picture to make any substantial changes, I think, in the grand scheme of the thing.
Still missing some people.
Still missing some people. I think in week 3 now, December 20th, there's a lot of stuff going on. North Canton Hoover, for example. There's up at Delaware, there's stuff going on. Worthington Kilbourne has stuff going on. And for when I'm talking to coaches and kids, I think we don't have anything other than, I hate to say it, maybe the White Death to worry about, but I don't think there's anything in the future. So I think week 3 is really going to be a great week to get a great picture of what's going on in our district.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, just like Friday night, this past Friday, let's head to Ironman right now. Shawn and I got in the car, headed up north, stopped at the Ironman. Shawn, what did you see at the #1 tournament in the nation, the Walsh Ironman tournament?
Yeah, we had 7 kids from the Central District, although Mark wants to say 6 plus 1, but it was 7 kids. I thought all the kids wrestled great, even the ones that didn't place. We all made it to day 2 except one who had an incredibly tough draw. But yeah, the kids wrestled great. I mean, what did you take from it? Even the matches they lost, they were very competitive in. I think a couple points here and there.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the first match, Maddox, well, I think he had a first match and then his second match. His second match, he loses by 2 points. Coming on strong, just runs out of time at the end. Did a great job. Wrestled very well. And, I mean, Ford had a smaller bracket, but he still had to wrestle at Ironman.
Yeah, Ford gets second in the
Most
Ironman.
certainly.
I mean, what happened to the last kid who got second to 220 in our district?
I think he went on to win the state
There
championship.
you go. So there you go, Ford. Something to build off of. Maybe you can do that. But again, like I said, Ford gets second. Matty gets third. Demas, Kowalski, and Cepeda. I all think we're round of 12 guys.
Yes.
1 match replacement, which is phenomenal for that tournament. Great job for them.
I was going to state that I thought watching the Marysville guys, I think they've taken a step. That's all I was going to state.
Okay.
I thought watching Romani wrestle, he's gotten much stronger from that 106-pounder that we saw the first year. I mean, his body is filled out very well. It looks like he's been lifting weights. Great job. I thought the same thing for Cepeda. I think he's very action-oriented. He's very busy.
Right, he is
constantly
busy.
moving, constantly pressuring, and I think people who have wrestled Cepeda in the past, I think they need to be ready.
Okay.
Because I think the guy is really catching fire and he's moving forward. Catching fire. He's really doing well. Yeah, sure, why not? But anything else from the Ironman?
No, it's just a great overall tournament. I do think, though, and maybe this is just me, I got the vibe that I was kind of down this year. Like Mark Hall, #1 guys in the country that usually come, didn't come, and I don't know, it just didn't have the same feel as like, it may have peaked.
You think?
I got the feel that maybe peaked, and I hate to say it because I love that tournament, but I just got the feeling it maybe peaked a little bit.
Well, maybe if you had stayed for day 2, you might have got that feeling. But I will state this, there was so much going on in the city that we had to come back.
Right.
Let's start here. Whitehall. Ran their Dan Gardner duels. It's always a great tournament. It's good stuff. Whitehall wins. They get first place. They got by 15 points. But I think sometimes, you know, you got to give credit where credit's due. Good job, Whitehall. P wasn't sure if his team was young or if they were experienced enough to make it happen this year. in this tournament, they made it happen. They really did a great job.
Yeah, they beat number 3 ranked Buckeye Valley.
Yes.
They also beat a very feisty Liberty Union team. We talked about Liberty Union a little bit in the first week of rankings. I think we maybe had them 5th or maybe had them on a bubble team to watch.
Yeah.
But they come out of there with 6 champions. I think they had 3 guys get second. I mean, this really is a team, if you're in D3 to watch, that could make a big splash come sectional district time. So great job, Liberty. Even though you didn't win, great showing overall.
Most certainly. And we mentioned they're a D3 team that could be on the rise, but let's talk about, in my opinion, the class of D3 right now is Northmore. In the Central, yeah. They really caught fire at the Big Walnut Firehouse Duels.
Twice you said
I did. I'm
You're
sorry.
On fire. Okay.
I'm on fire over here. But Northmore walked away with 3 champs, yes, but they had 8 finalists. Yes, 8 finalists. 3 champs, though. They had the 120-pounder in Becker. They had Ross at 132 and 195. Johnson, 195 for Northmore. I mean, they are really good. Now, we mentioned Liberty Union coming on strong. I think Liberty Union is doing the same thing that Northmore's doing, filling all 14 weight classes, developing the talent from 106 all the way to heavyweight as best they can. And I think that is an excellent point for Northmore. Let's travel just a little bit more northeast. Let's head out to the Highland Kilted Classic. I love that. I love that.
Love that.
Coach Gilmore, that's great stuff. Coach Gilmore had, actually at the Kilted Classic, he had the most outstanding wrestler in Mikey Stewart at 120. The kid is just dynamite. He might have been 120. No, 120. Absolutely dynamite. The kid is a hammer. I really enjoy watching him wrestle. He's a strong kid, and he's got great movement. So Mikey Stewart, great job. Most outstanding wrestler at the Kilted Classic home tournament. What else did we see from those results at the Kilted Classic?
Kilted Classic, Western North comes out on top and solidifies their number 3 ranking. They had 3 champions in Grant, Goldsmith, and Pillow. A couple other guys in their place tie. Archer, I think, got second. Hines got second at 70. Just a great tournament. Central Crossing was also there. The currently ranked 2 team in the Central Ohio. They finished 3rd, about 73 points behind Western North, but they didn't have Ray yet, who has to sit out, and Maddox was up at Ironman. So I don't know if they can make up the 73 points on the Westerville yesterday, but still they had a great showing. They had 2 bookend champions, Collins at 6 and Teacher at heavyweight.
Collins, you mentioned him.
I had mentioned Collins, the kid who might be a linchpin for them to make up maybe the push, because from that 4 to 6 slot is really about 8 kids in there that can get that spot. So Collins is showing that maybe he is one of those people that can make a push there. But again, Western North, great showing, coming from the Mueller duels a week ago to come back and have, again, impressive showing.
Right, so. It was so impressive. Coach Grant made sure to text me at 1:34 in the morning the results. So thank you, Coach Grant. Good thing my phone's on silent at that point in the game.
Yeah, you probably weren't sleeping then. You probably weren't sleeping.
Yeah, I was. But let's travel south from the Highland, just about straight south down to Logan. Logan ran their own tournament, the Logan Invitational. They ended up finishing first. They won that. They had 7 champs.
7 champs.
7 champs.
Great job.
Yeah, most certainly. Logan trying to do their best to branch.
Chieftains.
The Chieftains.
Go Chieftains.
That's right. Second place was Fairfield Union, so you tip your hat to Logan, folks. Great job there. What about move from Logan? Let's go across the city all the way up to
you really are all over the city.
This week was crazy. If I'd have driven all this, we got to get that helicopter we've been talking to the sponsors about. So
we probably would have saved gas if we went from Highland to Olentangy Liberty as opposed to going all the way down to Logan to coming back up.
Yeah,
but, that's
whatever.
We're just burning the sponsor money.
Yeah, whatever. Just burn it out. Let's talk about Olentangy Liberty. You were there just about all day. Let's talk about that tournament. What were some things that you saw? What were some of the things that you want to talk about that sort of stuck out in your mind?
Yeah, Olentangy Liberty really ran a great tournament. It was a great mix of D3 and D2 schools. Like we said, Hardy was there for D3. River Valley was there for D2. Circleville was there for D2. Mason ended up coming out on top, which is a really good, solid team, top to bottom from the Cincinnati area. Liberty does get second behind the strength of 2 champions of Meade at 6 and Furnace at 38. He was up at 38 this week. Lancaster was there. They also had 2 champions with Tanner Miller and Jimmy Thompson. But I'm going to tell you a team that I've seen that I really think may be a sleeper for the OCC Ohio is Pickerington Central. Yeah, Pickerington Central. I mean, I don't think these guys were on anybody's radar. I really didn't think they'd have much, but they really are a solid team. I mean, a flat-out solid team. 6th to heavyweight. They don't have any superstars that are going to overpower you, but their 14 kids are going to give you 6 solid minutes, and I'm just calling it. This is going to be the surprise team of the OCC Ohio in the dual meet format.
Over top of Pick North and Lancaster.
In a dual meet,
and Groveport, Mass.
And I think I really like them as a dual meet team.
Okay, well when you can field
enough to make the top 10 board.
We're gonna have to stick around.
Yes.
Yes.
We're gonna have to see.
But I will say this: if you can put 14 kids on the mat that are
just solid,
yeah, exactly solid.
Kids.
No real superstar, but I think they do have. I was about to say.
Terry is a star, but that's incredible weight. That I'm not gonna put a star on anybody at 145 because the last I counted, it's 7 deep there. Yeah, 7 deep. I know only 4 singlets, so you know he's a star at that tricky weight. But again, I'm really thinking Pickering Central is a team to watch out for.
Aside from the tournaments that occurred this week, and aside from your love affair now of Pickerington Central, let's talk about the dual meet that had. There were many dual meets that happened this week. I mean, a lot, and we're going to try and put those results on the website, on the Inside the Circle website. And we just got to click on the results tab. They'll be there. One result that came in across the wire was Hilliard Darby versus Delaware Hayes. The team that really did well last week was Delaware Hayes. Pretty tight dual meet, and it was 33-33 was the final.
Who won?
I would have to tell you that Hilliard Darby walks away the winner based on criteria.
Do you know what the criteria was?
Let's see, most pins.
Okay. Or forfeits or pins?
Yeah.
I don't know if it went to like,
I don't know if
it went to like the 2 or 3 criteria there.
Ooh, wouldn't that be sweet if it went to first takedown ever?
I don't know.
I wonder what the record is for the longest going down and deep in the criteria.
But anyways, this guy will get talking.
I wish we could have been there this year. That's what I really was, because we went last year and it was a great duel. It really was.
It really was a great duel.
And I'll tell you this, from everything I've seen online and from talking to the coaches when they sent me the text messages, it was a great environment. It always seems to be with those 2 teams going at it. So again, I just didn't know if you want to talk a little bit about your rankings last week. You're getting some heat on that.
I was getting some heat, and we'll talk about that when we put the rankings out here.
Deal, most certainly. Let's talk about some upcoming events. Before we get to that, let's talk about Wrestler of the Week. Every week we like to talk about Wrestler of the Week. We bring out a name that did an individual who did something extraordinary or just very well, did great for the week. Right, and this week?
Yeah, this week I think we had 3 or 4 kids we talked about.
Most certainly, yes.
A lot of them should get shout-outs. I think we should definitely give an honorable mention, as they say, is 40 and second Ironman is no slouch.
Right.
Meade really ran through a great 106. He beat a top-ranked kid in Circleville, 106.
Keaton. Yes.
He beats a solid Chase Colton. 2 kids that are ranked top 15 in the state. That was great. But I think we broke it down. We went with
Maddox. Yes, most certainly. Lost the second match, drops down on the loser's bracket, fights all the way back, and comes back and gets 3rd. To me, that shows a lot of toughness. For a freshman to do that, he placed over Aaron Hart, Aaron Hart from St. Ed's, state place winner last year. Noah Bowman, state champ last year. So, I mean, he's placing over these people. He must have done something right. So, to me, that warrants Wrestler of the Week. And we want to show you Wrestler of the Week shirts. This is coming to you along with a certificate. Hey! Nope, you got to wear that one, Sean.
Okay.
On the back, we have our logo, Inside the Circle logo. These are compliments of Quality Stitch Embroiderment at Town and Country on Broad Street in Whitehall. These guys hooked us up with these along with Hartley. They came together, got these for us. So, Jaden Maddox, all you, bud. All yours. How about...
Congratulations.
What we've all been waiting for.
The top 10.
Top 10. D1 top 10. Let's talk about it. Before I get started, is there going to be a break?
There is not. Are you going to ask me where we're going to start? Are we going to start at the top? Are we going to start at the bottom? You ask me that every time, and I think only once ever have we started at the top. You know why?
No, I don't know why.
Because people turn off the television when you start. They don't care about the bottom. They want to know who's at the top.
Phil Carney says differently.
Phil Carney. Every year, and I mean every year since we've been doing this, which is 5 years, but I only think 3 of them has been on the telecast.
Yeah.
We get bombarded by emails of how could I have possibly left this team out of the top 10? Every year it happens. Every year. Last year, do you know who the team was?
Last year the team would have been...
That I did not have in the top 10 that everybody was telling me I was wrong on.
Lancaster.
It was Lancaster.
Yeah! When you ask me, I know the answer.
And do you know where they finished in the district?
Outside of the top 10.
That is right, they finished outside of the top 10.
Okay.
15.
Okay.
So, a team actually this year, everybody and their brother thinks I'm dead wrong on Delaware. I'm putting it out there. I think I talked to about 10 people.
Okay.
They think Delaware is the team I'm totally missing. But we're going to see Delaware this week. Riddle me this, Batman. We will see Delaware. They're going against Liberty.
Yeah.
Taze Valley. Tri-Valley.
Not going against Liberty.
Oh, they're not.
However, they are going against Lancaster.
Lancaster, Taze Valley, Tri-Valley, and Springboro. So we're going to find out a lot of... We're actually covering it this week. We're going to cover the Delaware duels.
Yep.
And then we're going to travel south of there and cover the Worthington duels. Because that's who we are.
That is who we are.
That's who we are. But anyways, Delaware's a team everybody tells me I'm wrong about. We're going to find out on Saturday. Number 10 is Taze Valley, one of the teams at the Delaware Duels. Taze Valley, I believe, opened the season this week at the Viking Duels. I'm not sure how they did there.
We never got results.
We never got results, so we're not sure. But Taze Valley was at number 9 last week, and we're moving them down one spot to number 10.
Tell me who my 9 is.
Number 9, a team that tumbled 2 spots, Pickerington North Panthers.
Whoa!
They competed in the London tournament this week. Was a very makeshift team. They had a lot of kids out there. They will be wrestling Grove City this week on Thursday. I think they're a little banged up, so we might not see a lot of them. But until they get a full team on the mat and get their kids back, it's going to be hard to project them. And I don't think they warrant anything other than 9 right now. So Pickerington North is going in.
Give me my grade 8.
Number 8, they're making their debut in the rankings. Debut at rankings in number 8, the Braves of Olentangy.
Oh, wow. Continue.
They opened up their season 2 weeks ago at home in their tournament. They only had 8 kids placed, but again, we talked about the 8 kids they had placed were not the 8 kids I was thinking were going to be scores for them at Darby.
Yeah.
And the 8 kids I seen I really liked. You add those kids to the kids that I know are coming back. I think you have 2 solid favorites in Crum at heavyweight and Hall at 82.
Yeah.
Then you add in Held, the Little Max Hall, Gore at 20. These guys are really going to be good. So we're debuting them at number 8. They'll be at North Canton Hoover this week with a full schedule, with a full team.
Yeah.
So we'll see what's going on with them.
Good luck, Olentangy. Give me 7.
Number 7, a team is sliding down 2 spots, Lancaster. They were at Liberty. I don't like that they lost to Liberty by 30 or 40 points when I don't think they were down anyone. I think they had their full team. Maybe they were out there 26, maybe not. Well, Liberty had a lot of kids out, still beat them by 40. That makes me nervous. I have to move them down a little bit. So
okay.
We're going to put them there.
Give me 6.
Number 6, we have Darby coming off that big win of the team that everyone thinks can't lose, Delaware. We're going to put Darby.
Gotcha.
I'm not sure what they have this week, but I know they'll be at Medina in a couple weeks. Donatelli was out for that win against Delaware. Valenti was out against that win against Delaware.
So what are you saying?
You get the theme, and we're all about themes.
Yes, we are. Hey, before we get to number 5, if you'll notice, I'm using the pens given to us by Eddie Jane. Continue, number 5.
Number 5, we're going with Mount Vernon. We're going to move them up a spot. And I know Delaware, God, this is a Delaware thing. I know you beat them, or allegedly beat them, or maybe someone said you beat them at the Bad Apple, which we're still not sure what happened there. But these guys, again, they have 2 solid favorites. I think Staten's a favorite. I think Hinkle's a favorite. Then you got Mateo in there. Both the Davis brothers. Who else am I thinking of? Ben Tater. Ben Tater. I really like Mount Vernon. They seem to be every year, there are front runners and closers. And what do I mean by that? Every year there are teams that race out and they look really great. And then they seem to maybe falter down the lane. And then every year you have teams just taking it easy, laying in the back, making one big move in the finish, and Mount Vernon every year has a big finish. Their kids just come to play. So Mount Vernon, we have a number 5.
Yes.
At number 4, we're going with Marysville.
Okay.
They had us.
There you go.
Yeah, we're going with Marysville here. Another solid team. Again, a great finish with the kids. They sent up to Ironman. I think they got Brecksville. I think this week they go down to the Cincinnati Coaches Classic. We didn't mention it because it's not a Central Ohio.
But we'll cover it next week,
But we're going to cover it. Marysville's going to be down there. And I think Mount Vernon might be down there because they were down there last year. So we'll get a better idea about Marysville's whole team down at the Coaches Classic. At number 3, we're going to go with Westerville North.
Ooh. Please don't text me at 1 a.m. Please, please, please.
They've wrestled in back-to-back weeks. Great showing this week, like I said. They had at the Celtic Classic.
Yes.
You want to say the Celtic Classic?
The Celtic Classic.
Yes, they great showing by the team. They're going to be at Medina in a couple weeks as well, so we'll be able to see them a little bit more. At number 2, Central Crossing. And I know you're throwing stuff at the screen, Grant, telling me we just beat them by 73 points. Stop hating on the Warriors. But I think Central Crossing is a team that had success with the football, so their guys are still getting their legs underneath them, plus they're going to get 2 more people back. So I still think they'll be okay, and I don't think all their kids are down in the weight. I know Robbie Ferguson was up at, Robbie Fuzzer was up at 220, because Alpha says you can't go down. Weimer was up at 32.
Right.
I just think they haven't been able to shift because of the Alpha, and haven't been able to put the team on the map they would, but I still think they warrant the number 2 ranking here.
So who's my number 1?
Number 1, we're going with Olib. We're keeping them there. And, they didn't really have the greatest showing, and maybe they don't warrant the number 1, but I don't think any team's done anything to help themselves. And honestly, and I hate to say this because I love the Central District Wrestling, I think I've seen more bad wrestling than I've seen good wrestling. And some of these teams really haven't done anything much to say, hey, this team shouldn't be here. But, you know, nobody's done anything to improve themselves. I think more teams have hurt themselves than improved themselves. So, right now, this is where we're at. But again, this is definitely going to change because of the great Delaware tournament we have. And then in a couple weeks, we're going to have the Medina and the Brecksville. And we're really going to start to spread out, separate ourselves from the pretenders and
contenders. Most certainly. And you think next week, individual rankings can come?
Definitely. Individual rankings will definitely come out next week after the 20th because we will have so much information that it would be impossible not to know.
Well, that's fantastic.
If you don't have individual rankings by next week, you are outside the circle. So.
But we want you inside the circle.